Hello, Russell McDonald with Randy Hildebrandt at Talis here to give another CTE ransomware protection demo. In this post, we will cover the forensics of a ransomware attack and discover how to classify the type of attack and how to recover from it. We will demonstrate this using two real ransomware attacks. So let's look at how ransomware attacks the files. The first question is, how do they encrypt the files? The answer can be seen in this diagram. Ransomware attacks almost always use cached I/O so they can cover more files faster. As the paging writes can happen later, the ransomware threads are able to more quickly close the files and move on to the next file. So most often, CTE ransomware protection will detect the attack during the cached I/O and block further paging I/Os from ever making it to disk. Now, there are two basic types of ransomware attacks. There's in-place attacks that read the data, encrypt, and write back to that original file. And then there are across-file attacks that encrypt the data to a new file. As well, sometimes the ransomware will create randomized or email syntax names. So let's now perform an actual attack using WannaCry ransomware and see which type it is. I have first disabled part of ransomware protection to allow the attack to encrypt two files before being detected. So let's start WannaCry. First, you will get a CTE pop-up and as well a CTE ransomware detected log entry. Let's check that log entry to see which directory was last accessed by the ransomware. So we will navigate to the CTE log, scroll to the bottom and find the potential ransomware activity log alert. And then scrolling to the end of that log alert, we will see the last directory that the ransomware was accessing at the time that we detected it. Navigating to that directory, we see the extension WNCRY, WannaCry, at the end of many files. Now notice that each such WannaCry file is a shadow file to the original file. This indicates this is an across-file encryptor. If we check some of the files, the original files, we see that they are still in the clear. So checking all such files on the E volume, we see that they are all in the clear. However, navigating to the C volume and then searching on star.wncry there as well, we see that there are two files that were attacked as well, and the originals are encrypted on disk. Now remember, this is because we relaxed ransomware protection thresholds and disabled part of it specifically for this demo to allow at least two files to get encrypted on disk, just for the demonstration. As you can see, those two files are encrypted. So how do we recover now? While we protected the files, WannaCry may have affected other areas of this system. So the safest way forward is to shut down and move the data volumes onto another system. Next, let's quickly try an in-place ransomware attack. We will use Crytox ransomware to do that. So we will start the Crytox ransomware attack. And then once detected, we will go to the end of the CTE log as well. And here we can see this time that this particular ransomware used svchost.exe and explorer.exe to perform the attack. So still scrolling to the end of those ransomware potential activity detected warnings, then we see the last paths that were accessed. So we want to go to those directories and check. And here, this time, we see that there are no original files left behind, just the star.waiting files. This indicates this was an in-place attack. Since I know that Crytox does not restart on reboot, then I'm just going to go ahead and reboot, and that will clear the cache. But typically, you want to remount the volume to another system to be safe, because it could be a ransomware that restarts on reboot. Now that the cache is clear, we can see that they are actually clear on disk. Now, there were one or two files that did get encrypted, and again, remember, we relaxed the ransomware protection thresholds and disabled part of it so that a few files could get encrypted on disk. As you can see, it has very high entropy data. And checking the second file, we see as well that it has very high entropy data, indicating that it as well was encrypted. So this concludes the demonstration of the ransomware protection attacks and the forensics. So in synopsis, these are the steps to follow. In the CTE logs, find the last directory accessed by the ransomware. Explore that directory for the extension used by that ransomware. And then step 3, which we have not mentioned yet, as well, check all other systems that this system has remotely accessed. Lockbit, for example, has the capability to access all directories on those remote systems whose shares were accessed by the system, even directories that were not included in this share. Step 4, shut down and remount the data volumes onto another system. Search the volumes for all files with that extension or name pattern, and if it's an in-place attack, verify the integrity of the files with the extensions and remove those extensions. And if it's a cross-file, verify the integrity of the original files and then delete the files with the extensions. Thanks, and please contact Talos for any further CTE RWP questions.